Sailing by. This is BBC Radio 4. Time now for the shipping forecast issued by the Met Office on behalf of the Maritime and Coast Guard Agency at 0015 on Sunday the 26th of June. There are warnings of gales in Trafalgar and Fitzroy. The general synopsis at 1800. Low North Germany 1007, expected Western Norway 1001 by 1800 on Sunday. New low expected Iceland 995 by the same time. The area forecasts for the next 24 hours. Viking, North Utsira, South Utsira, Northeast 40s, northerly or northwesterly becoming cyclonic 4 or 5, increasing 6 at times, occasionally 7 later in North Utsira. Rain, fog patches, moderate or good, occasionally very poor. Southwest 40s, Cromarty, 4th, Tyne. Variable 3 or 4 becoming southerly or southwesterly 4 or 5 later, occasionally 6 later. Rain, fog patches at first, moderate or good, occasionally poor or very poor at first. Dogger, Fisher, German Bight, Humber. Cyclonic 3 or 4, increasing 5 or 6 for a time, becoming southwest 4 or 5 later. Showers, moderate or good, occasionally poor. Thames, Dover, White, Portland, Plymouth. West or northwest 4 or 5, increasing 6 at times, becoming variable 3 for a time in Thames. Rain, fog patches later except in Thames. Good, occasionally poor or very poor later except in Thames. Biscay, north or northwest 4 or 5, becoming variable 3 or 4. Fog patches in north, moderate or good, occasionally very poor in north. Trafalgar, South Fitzroy. Northerly 5 to 7, occasionally gale 8 at first, but variable 3 or 4 in southeast Trafalgar. Fair, moderate or good. North Fitzroy, Seoul, Lundy, Fastnet, Irish Sea, Shannon. Westerly or northwesterly 4 or 5, increasing 6 at times, except in Seoul and Fitzroy. Occasional rain, moderate or good, occasionally poor. Rockhall, west or northwest 4 or 5, increasing 6 or 7, occasional rain, fog patches, moderate or good, occasionally very poor. Malin, Hebrides, Bailey, south veering west 4 or 5, occasionally 6 later, rain, fog patches, moderate or good, occasionally very poor. Fair Isle, variable 3 or 4, becoming southerly 4 or 5, then veering westerly 5 or 6 later in west, fog patches, rain, moderate or good, occasionally very poor. Faroes, southeast Iceland. Southerly, veering westerly 4 or 5, increasing 6 at times. Rain, fog patches, moderate or good, occasionally very poor. Now the weather reports from coastal stations for 2300. Tyree Automatic, northwest by west 2, 5 miles, 1019, falling slowly. Stornoway, calm, 24 miles, 1018, falling more slowly. Lerwick, northeast by north 2, 12 miles, 1018, falling more slowly. Wick Automatic, east by north 1, moderate drizzle, 200 meters, 1018, now falling. Aberdeen, north-northwest 3, 14 miles, 1017, rising more slowly. Lucas, north by west 1, recent rain, 6 miles, 1017, now falling. Boomer, northwest 2, Hayes, 4 miles, 1016, steady. Bridlington, north by west 3, 1015, falling slowly. Sandetti Light Vessel Automatic, southwest by west 4, 11 miles, 1017, rising more slowly. Greenwich Light Vessel Automatic, west 4, 1016, now rising. St. Catherine's Point Automatic, northwest by west 2, 1018, rising more slowly. Jersey, west-northwest 3, 11 miles, 1021, rising slowly. Channel Light Vessel Automatic. North, northwest 5, 1021, rising slowly. Scilly Automatic. Northwest 3, 16 miles, 1023, rising slowly. Milford Haven. Northwest by North 3, 19 miles, 1021, rising slowly. Aberporth. West northwest 3, 15 miles, 1020, rising slowly. Valley. North 1, 6 miles, 1020, rising slowly. Liverpool Crosby. Northwest 6, 7 miles, 1018, rising most slowly. Valencia. Southwest 2, 5 miles, 1023, falling slowly. Ronaldsway. Southwest 2, 13 miles, 1019, rising slowly. Malin Head. West by North 2, 27 miles, 1020, falling slowly. Machrihanish Automatic. Northwest by West 4, 14 miles, 1019, rising most slowly. And finally, the weather forecast for the inshore waters of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, valid for the following 24 hours. The general situation: there is a slack pressure pattern over the British Isles, which will give way to a frontal system moving in from the west, bringing a period of rain. Fog patches around northern and eastern coasts will slowly clear, although further fog patches may develop in the English Channel on Sunday night. This will be followed by a fresher westerly flow with some showers in the north. Cape Wrath to Rattray Head, including Orkney. Variable 3 or 4, becoming west or southwest 5 or 6 later. Fog patches, rain later, moderate or good, occasionally very poor. Rattray Head to Berwick upon Tweed. Variable 3 or 4, becoming west or southwest 4 or 5 later, occasionally 6 later. Fog patches at first, rain later, moderate or good, occasionally very poor at first or poor later. Berwick upon Tweed to Whitby. Variable 3 or 4, becoming west or southwest 4 or 5 later. Fog patches at first, rain later, moderate or good, occasionally very poor at first or poor later. Whitby to Gibraltar Point. Variable 3 or 4, becoming west or southwest 4 or 5 later. Showers at first, rain later, moderate or good, occasionally poor later. Gibraltar Point to North Foreland. Variable 3 or 4, becoming westerly or southwesterly 4 or 5, occasionally 6 in south. Showers at first, rain later, moderate or good, occasionally poor later. North Foreland to Selsey Bill. Westerly or northwesterly 4 or 5, increasing 6 at times. Showers at first, rain and fog patches later, moderate or good, occasionally very poor later. Selsey Bill to Lyme Regis. West or northwest 4 or 5, increasing 6 at times. Rain and fog patches later, moderate or good, occasionally very poor later. Lyme Regis to Land's End, including the Isles of Scilly. West or northwest 4 or 5, rain and fog patches for a time, moderate or good, occasionally very poor for a time. Land's End to St David's Head, including the Bristol Channel. West or northwest 4 or 5, increasing 6 at times, rain for a time, good, occasionally poor for a time. St David's Head to Great Orme Head, including St George's Channel. West or northwest 3 or 4, occasionally 5 later, rain for a time, good, occasionally poor for a time. Great Orme Head to the Mull of Galloway. West or northwest, backing southwest for a time 4 or 5, increasing 6 at times, rain for a time, moderate or good, occasionally poor for a time. Isle of Man. West or northwest, backing southwest for a time 4 or 5, increasing 6 at times, rain for a time, moderate or good, occasionally poor for a time. Loch Foyle to Carlingford Loch. Northwest 4 or 5, becoming variable 3 or 4, then becoming west 4 or 5 later, occasionally 6 later, rain and fog patches for a time, moderate or good, occasionally very poor for a time. Mull of Galloway to Mull of Kintyre, including the Firth of Clyde and North Channel. Northwesterly, becoming variable 3 or 4, then becoming westerly 4 or 5 later, occasionally 6 later. Rain and fog patches for a time, moderate or good, occasionally very poor for a time. Mull of Kintyre to Ardnamurchan Point. Variable 3 or 4, becoming west or northwest 5 or 6. Rain and fog patches for a time, moderate or good, occasionally very poor for a time. Ardnamurchan Point to Cape Wrath. Variable 3 or 4, becoming south, then veering west later 4 or 5, occasionally 6 later. Rain and fog patches for a time, moderate or good, occasionally very poor for a time. Shetland Isles. Variable 3 or 4, becoming northerly 5 in east for a time, then becoming westerly 5 later in west. Rain later, moderate or good, occasionally poor later. And that completes the shipping bulletin. And signals, as ever, the end of programming here on Radio 4. We'll be joining our colleagues on the World Service for the remainder of this morning. My colleague Susan Ray will be here to get your Sunday started at 5:20. Until then, thank you so much for your company. My name is Viji from all of us here at Broadcasting House. Good night.